the day I signed up for NYT, I immediately felt regret. Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rihanna and I am super excited to finally be sat down making a YouTube video. I always make vlogs and stuff, you can check those out on my channel, self-promotion. But this is the first time where I've actually sat down speaking to a camera. I feel like I need tea to calm down because I'm nervous. Also, the ear of my little panda fell off. Oh, poor pandas. R.I.P. Panda. Obviously this video is about auditioning for the National Youth Theatre, which is exciting, but obviously there's things that you'll be worried about or thinking about or about, so I figured I'd make a little video telling you guys my experience. But before I do that, just wanted to say that this video is completely my experience. None of the views are that of the National Youth Theatre, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. I auditioned for the National Youth Theatre in 2015. That's so long ago. Wow. I auditioned for it because my teacher told me to. I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life. But NYT came at that point, which was perfect, and I auditioned end of February, early March. I'd literally signed up the week before and didn't have a monologue. Never had a monologue. I didn't do Lambda exams or anything like that. Pardon me. To really, the day I signed up for NYT, I immediately felt regret because I was like, I'm not ready. I don't have a 2-minute monologue. I've never done an audition as such. I've never had that. I don't know what I'm doing. I was so worried. I didn't even want to be an actor. That hadn't even crossed my mind. It was so unrealistic. I don't know if you guys find this, but the thought of being an actor is like winning the lottery. That's so crazy. So I signed up, my parents paid. I quickly learned a monologue. I did Annie's monologue from the Gut Girls, and if you're gonna do a monologue, maybe do a play that's come out in the last couple years. You know, do Shakespeare if you really want to, but if I was to audition now, I would probably do a different monologue. And yeah, so I did a speech from the Gut Girls that I love, and it's an emotional piece. It's sad. I help out at NYT auditions every single year. So I helped out in the auditions in 2016 and 2017, and I'm helping out in 2018. So I see people's auditions, which is so exciting. It's refreshing when you see a funny one, or, you know, in my opinion, most people's monologues are quite sad. It's honestly whatever floats your boat, do it. Anyway, I get to this audition, and the first thing that happened is we were completely locked out the building. The person who was in charge of opening the studios didn't turn up, so we were all stood outside in the rain waiting to go to the audition, and it actually really helped me because I got a chance to just chat to people. We're having a laugh. I was talking to some of the ambassadors that were NYT members, and I was just I felt really relaxed. I kind of forgot that I even had an audition, and then by the time I walked in, I was just let's just have a good day. The worst thing that can happen is you don't get in, and is that a bad thing? Life goes on. Then we went into the building. I was in Holloway Road, so where NYT is based. It's a crazy building, it's really cool. I was so excited to be there. Our workshop was led by 2 fairly young people, and they were getting us to do a movement workshop for a few hours, and we were doing a lot of games, you know, improvisation, group work. There was a thing where you had to create a scene with a stimulus, so you get given a bit of paper or a pen or something, and the scene has to kind of be inspired by that stimulus. So we did a lot of stuff like that, and it was really, really fun. It was a movement workshop. It was like any movement workshop you do. It's just fun, in my opinion anyway. You just have a good time, you stretch, you feel so open. And that's the thing, you need to be in that state to perform your monologue. You can't feel nervous and closed and restricted, because your whole monologue is going to be like this, and that's probably not the best performance. So I felt so relaxed. I was so excited. I was so happy to be there. It is a movement workshop. You never know what you're going to get asked to do. It could be that you're asked to pretend you're a goat or a donkey, and that is kind of embarrassing, but if you get asked to do that, that's kind of fun. Like, have a bit of fun with it, you know? You might be the best goat they ever did see. I think I did have to do something weird, like be a frog like along the room or something, and I was like, I'd never done anything like this, so it was just fun for me. Just a good time. It was a good time. So you've done your movement workshop, you're feeling good, you're feeling warm. The annoying thing that happens in this time, pardon me, is you get given a lunch break, which is great. Would never turn down the opportunity to have food. I love food, but when you're feeling really ready, you kind of just want to go and do your monologue because you're feeling focused and stuff. So it's annoying that there has to be a break, but the workshop is so long that you need a break. In my break, I made friends. We went and got a Burger King, I think, or a McDonald's or something, which is actually gross when I think about it, and it's quite like, I mean, I'm feeling fresh and stuff, and then I go and eat fast food. Like, it's not really that sensible, but that's what I did. I remember I had a really long gap because I was one of the last people to get to do my monologue, and I was gutted because I really felt so tired by the time it came to my monologue. And there's advantages and disadvantages for like whatever time you go. If you go in first to do your monologue, you might feel like you've not had time to think about it. If you go in last, you might feel like you've had too long to think about it. There's no easy way to do it. It's the way castings work in the real industry. It's just the way it is. So I went near the end, and I got there about 30 minutes before the time that I was given to get there, so that I had time just to focus. My monologue was sad, so I needed some time to just get away from the people that I was making friends with, who were so lovely, and just have time to just sit on my own and just think. And I was kind of thinking, what questions could they ask me? Oh, are they going to throw me off? They're going to make me do it funnily? Or what are they going to do? Here's so many rumours about what they ask you to do. Like, they redirect you and you get to do it again and again and again, and blah 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 blah. And they do. Some people get redirected, so some people have the most heartbreaking monologue and then get asked to do it like as if it was a comedy, as if it was the funniest story you've ever told, or do a funny monologue and say it as if you're heartbroken. And they might do that, but that's just because they want to get you somewhere, or they're seeing something in you. They're just trying to like suss you out maybe a little bit, I'm not sure. But I did my monologue once through, and I didn't have to do it again after that. That was that, and that was quick, and I was gutted because I was like, they didn't ask me to do it again. Everyone says that you should get asked to do it again. Oh my gosh, that means they hate me. But they loved me. I'm joking. When I performed my monologue, I was like, why didn't I cry? Every time I do this monologue in front of the mirror, I cry, and the one time I need to cry, I didn't cry, and I was so annoyed. But it's not about crying, or whether you paused when you thought you were going to pause or whatever. It's not about that. If you feel a story, whether it's a funny story or a sad story or an angry story, people are going to believe you when you tell it. Once I came out of the audition, I wanted to be in NYT. And I felt like I screwed it up because they asked me questions like, what acting do you do and stuff, and I was like, I don't. And they were asking me what I was studying, and they asked me, because I had a part-time job at the time, and I was working at this horrendous spa like this. The people that ran it were horrible. It wasn't even a spa, it was like a tiny little shop, you know, where people get their eyebrows threaded and stuff. And I was working at this place, and I absolutely hated it. And they asked me about my job and stuff, if I worked, and I told them I did, and I told them I worked at this place, and they were like, what is the time that you've been unprofessional at work? Has there been a time where you thought, this is bad, like I am being shocking right now, sort of thing? And I told this story about this time when I was at work, and I'd always give the person that's having their treatment, and this lady was having like a pedicure foot massage thing, and I always got them a little drink, like a peppermint tea, and then, you know, some biscuits if they wanted them. But this time I didn't give any biscuits. I just put the tea next to her little massage chair. I put the tea on a plate next to the chair, and next to the tea was a sponge. which is pretty gross, but this place was grim anyway. But there was a sponge there, and I gave her tea and she was like, thank you, blah blah blah. And I watch her and she picks up this sponge and she dunks it in her tea and goes like that. And I go, so like, I was like, don't eat that, that's a sponge. And she thought it was a biscuit. And I had to leave the room and I had to hide in. They had this tiny little store cupboard that had like loads of tea and stuff in it. It was really bizarre, and I had to lock myself in there for a little bit because I thought it was hilarious at the time. Probably wasn't funny looking back, but like, yeah. So I told that story and then the lady was laughing, you know, I told it really dramatically. I was just, you know, I love telling stories like that, so I just went in for this story. And I remember going out like, why did I tell that story? That was so unprofessional. They're not going to work with me because I'm so unprofessional. Oh my gosh, they're going to hate me. Blah, 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 blah. But like, you come out and there's so many thoughts in your head, like, what should I have done? What shouldn't I have done? What should I have said? What shouldn't I have said? That's the story of my NYT audition. The auditions are really, really fun. Enjoy your day and think of it as a workshop opportunity rather than, you know, an audition. And I really, really hope it works out for you, or this video helps in some way, shape or form. Any questions, leave it down below. Please like and subscribe to my channel. This has been a big deal for me. I felt really nervous making this video because I never sit down and talk to the camera. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again with another video very, very soon. That was so cringy. Oh, I'm gonna be sick in my teeth.